Welcome to Your Voice Matters podcast. I hope you're having an amazing day, but if not, listen in and let those positive vibes shower you and put you in a great place. First of all, a big shout out to all my listeners and to our fabulous sound engineer, Angelo. He makes it sound great and everything works fine. I am so excited because I have one of my best people in the world that I know that is all about fashion. Bobbi Schwartz is with us today, and she is a leading fashion stylist, author, speaker, and frequent radio show guest, as well as known as a well-known style expert to some of the world's wealthiest men and women. And she is the founder and CEO of Bobbi Schwartz Group and beiconicstyle. Welcome, Bobbi.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yay.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited because we're both a lot of similar because we both love fashion. You know, we both like to talk about it, but she actually goes out and helps style people's outfits and everything she does. And hopefully she's going to give us a few hints today. So I was just thinking, where did we meet?
I think at the women's
ABWA, American
yes.
Women's
Yep,
Association.
I believe
That's what I thought, because I remember this lady walking in, and I think you had a whole bunch of clothes with you.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and she was sitting there. This is so cool, and she was putting things together and a blouse together with another outfit, and man, it was worth it. But I'm glad we got together. So, Bobbi, tell us what you. Let's talk about how you help women.
Something that you will find probably very interesting, and I'm going to guess that the majority of you do not know, is this, that a woman's self-esteem and self-confidence is this closely associated with how she feels about how she looks. Ladies, that's not vanity, that's self-care. It's just how we're hardwired. You go to the opposite end of the deal with guys, they're not impacted in that manner at all. And but with us, it really makes a difference. And for years, I've worked, for some of the world's top fashion houses. And for years, I thought I just had such a good following because I had good taste, I gave excellent service, and my clients were getting compliments. It didn't occur to me until I actually got out on my own as a stylist, and you have a much more intimate relationship with your clients, that I hadn't just been, the reason these women came back again and again and again and would wait for me for like 45 minutes or whatever it was because all of those other things were true, but I was actually changing their lives, and I didn't know it. Confidence is the key to pretty much everything in your life, and ladies, so much of it is associated with all of this. So that's why I got into the business, and that's what I do every day, is to try and help women put looks together that help them feel their best and most confident as they go out to the world.
Right, because I remember anytime you put on whatever you're wearing, a nice dress or slacks or whatever, if you go and look in the mirror, it's like, oh, wow, I really look good. It does. It just brings all of that up. And you walk a little taller.
You do.
And your shoulders are back, and just the way you walk has confidence because you feel good.
That's exactly right.
And that is something to me that, some people, I know years ago when I was growing up, they go, oh, you're just, that's just not the thing you do. It's just like they didn't expect women to have confidence when I was growing up.
Right.
They expected you to be a certain place, or do a certain job. And it's been hard for women to actually climb the corporate ladder or do what they want to do.
Yes.
But now you see so many women owning their own business, which I think is so wonderful, and we have so much to offer. And a lot of that has to stem from how you look and what you put on.
It's absolutely true. One of the things, I'm just a big fan of women in general, who we are as human beings, because we're the whole package. We're not just head and intellect. We're heart, soul. We're a community. And in fact, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was at a fundraiser for a woman-owned company for something that she. I'm not going to go into the details of all that, but anyway, it was a fundraiser, but there were finance people there because at this event there were other small companies doing their thing, and I got talking with one of the gentlemen there who invested in companies, and his company only invested in women-owned companies. And I was surprised, and I said, why is that? And he said, because when you finance a man, you finance one person. When you finance a woman, you finance a community. And
that is right.
And that's how we operate.
Yeah.
We are, we know about the gathering situation and all the talking and everything else historically and genetically that goes on with us, but that's it. We're nurturers, we're givers,
right.
And so.
But that's absolutely right, because women, we talk about everything, and I had a brother, he goes, why didn't you introduce me to that lady? I said, I don't know who she is. I don't know her name. I just walked up to her and we started talking about whatever. And before I know it, when I get home, I realize, well, I know their kids' names. I know their, but I think being approachable, I think that's a part of it, because women seem to be, I'm not categorizing everybody.
Right.
But we seem to be more approachable, and I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's because we as women we talk about stuff. We talk about everything,
Yeah.
And I think that you form a relationship with somebody.
Yeah, that connection, and it's men bring great things to the table, women bring great things to the table, and we're just very, very different in that way. But I remember watching a show one time years ago, and we probably want to get into fashion rather than my talk about all this stuff, but whoever was speaking was talking about the differences between men and women, and how in terms of communication, and how the husband and the wife get together at the end of the day and they're talking, and the husband comes in, he goes, well, Jim, his best friend, is getting divorced. What? Oh my gosh, what happened? I don't know. Well, we don't know. You don't know why? No. Well, did somebody meet somebody else? I don't know. The I don't knows went on for a while. But the deal is that we all know as women, we would have had every single little fact. And, men have 2,000 words a day in their vocabulary. We have something between 5 and 7. And so we're chitter-chattery people, and we do share, and we visit with each other.
It's so funny, we do. I got to tell you the story, and I thought probably said it before in the air. My older sister, she moved, around the country for her job. Well, she came from Chicago, and then she went to New York, and then she came back to Texas. She came back for Thanksgiving. So she was at my house, and we ran to the store because we needed a few ingredients, because she's an awesome cook. And I says, well, I'm going to run down this aisle because I need whatever it was. So I get down there, and this little old lady, she was so cute. She goes, I'm going to try to make this. What do you think? And this is like, so we sit down there and talked about 10 minutes. And then I walked back, and my sisters were at the end of the aisle, and I said, she goes, who is that lady? And I goes, I don't know her. I don't know who she is. Well, what's her name? I don't know who she is, Jane. And she says, that's dangerous. I said, you've been gone from Texas too long. We talk to everybody. But I think women in general, no matter where you live, even as European women, they have more, they're just more closely.
Yeah, they're more connected.
So I was going to ask you, if I was your client and I was coming to you for the first time, what would you tell me?
If you're my client, you're a brand new client, you would have known this before we started our first appointment, but we will go through your closet first. And that gives us a base, so that we know a foundation, so I know exactly what your preferences are in styles. It teaches me a lot about you, and about your lifestyle. I'll learn about your budget. All of that happens in that, speaking of communicating and sharing and just connecting. And then we'll go through, get rid of what we oughtn't to keep, and then I will create a needs list for you based on your budget and your lifestyle. And then from there, we decide if you want me to do the shopping, which is generally what happens, and or if you want to do it on your own, you've got the needs list. But that's kind of where we are, and then we began the journey.
Okay, so when somebody comes to you and they want you to do their shopping,
Mm-hmm.
do you like pick out several? Like if they wanted a certain blouse, do you pick out options?
Okay, so here's the deal. They don't tell me what to find.
Oh, okay.
That is, in fact, I'm going through that right now. I'm going through that right now with a client who I met the other day. I mean, we've been working together for several years, but in the process, this time she said, "Okay, so I need this and this, and I'm looking for this and this." I mean, at least it was sort of general. Like I want cardigans that have a pattern in them. I want, instead of really wide leg pants, I want some that maybe come A-line. But when you get down to true specifics, like this is a particular shirt, you're best served getting online and finding it yourself. You're hiring me for my taste, and I'm bringing an element to the table so that you wouldn't necessarily bring.
Yeah.
I mean, you may look at it and go, "Oh my gosh, I love it," or "That's not really for me," and that does happen. So when you hire me to go out and shop, I have that needs list. I know what our first steps and of the strategy are, and then I just have at it. I shop all over the place, and then we return whatever we don't want.
But yeah, that's really cool because you would think of something that we get into ruts. That is
for sure.
That is so easy. I'll just wear this again today. Or those are my favorite. Those are my favorite shoes. And then you look at them again. Well, I've had those for a while. But you actually give people insight into you're looking at somebody that's absolutely like you were a stranger looking at somebody.
Yes.
And how they looked. So that brings a lot to the table.
Well, it does. And then, I have my own particular style and I do have clients, and it's kind of a running joke amongst the ones that don't fall into this category. I go, some people just do what I tell them. And I heavy sigh on my part. And then they laugh and say, "But that's not me, is it?" No, that would not be you. But there's integrating and bringing my taste to the table, but then helping that client look like $1 million with what's important to her. I'm a very neutrals person, for instance, but I've got clients who just love color. Well, I do to a degree, just kind of keep pressuring on the neutrals, and there's a reason for that, by the way. And I guess I should say it now because we might not get back to it, but the thing about neutrals versus color is that they disappear. And so when you wear something that is in the neutral category, people don't remember what you had on. They only remember how fabulous you looked. And that allows you to wear things over and over and over again. And when you were talking about those shoes that are really old, I just say get them refurbished. If you've got shoes that you love, just take them every year and get the shoe people, find a good shoe person, and we've got a really good one. So if you're here in Dallas, I'll just tell you Dino's at Highland Park. Now, there's Dino's all over town, but Dino's in Highland Park Village is the only one that does the most miraculous things with shoes. So just keep that in mind. But is preserving these things and so that you have them for years and years and years. But so back to the color versus the neutrals. The color's their passion. It makes them feel alive and good. So obviously you're going to put that in there.
Right.
Or, I'm a pant person, not a dress person. You pretty much have to hurt me to get me in a dress. And but I've got one client in particular who I always refer to her as 50s chic, and that just those feminine dresses, not frilly, but but feminine, and she just is stunning, but it looks like 50s couture. It's just absolutely incredible. Again, would I put the average person in that? Absolutely not. I would head down my pathway of what I really believe are timeless pieces that you can incorporate in your wardrobe. But then there's also the personality and the wants and desires of the person. Because fashion's supposed to be fun.
What would you tell somebody? Like, I had to go to, I belong to ABWA, so we were winning these awards. So, stage presentation and all that, so I had long gowns. So I pulled out some of my long gowns, and those go the fashion. They can change really quickly. but I had a black.
Or not.
Well, black's always good. But they didn't. You get to pick the the group gets to pick their color. So you have to. Everybody on stage has to have blue, black.
Okay, whatever the color of that particular group is. Okay.
So I didn't have the blue I had. I just didn't like. That's if I don't feel good in something, I don't wear it.
Good girl.
So I ordered one. I'm thinking it's not going to get here in time, so I'm going to wear this other dress. It got here in time, and then I thought, you know how we always are. We're always speculating, and I put it on, and it fits. Everything fit to a T, and I thought that was really, that was
divine intervention. So to speak.
Right. But I don't like to shop. I mean, honestly, I'd rather buy something online. And usually I buy from the same people, so I know what size I have. Only when I go out and need, like, long gowns or something special. Mm-hmm. And do you run into clients like that? Or well, that's probably why they have you.
Well, it depends. It varies. I mean, there's some people who just hate shopping. They know their taste is sketchy or worse. And they hire me for that person. There are other women that I've got a whole cluster of partners in law firms and just attorneys, because they don't have time. Mm-hmm. And and how they present pretty much every day is going to be critical to their career.
Yeah.
So there are people who just don't have time, and some that they just know their taste is off enough, and they're very high profile, at a lot of events and that kind of thing, and they don't want, like you, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
In fact, I had one of my clients is so funny. She goes, I hate this, right? And I'm like, yes, I do. I know that you want this to be Camelot, where everything just falls into place, but I actually need you to put this on so that we can see. And she would laugh and do it, but begrudgingly.
Yeah, well. But anyway, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
All your clients, are they really, some people are just easygoing, and then you have others that are, it's just typical, right?
Yeah, yes, but for the most part, when I very first started out, out on my own as a stylist, I've had a few that were on, if they hadn't moseyed off themselves, I would have moseyed them off. Because life's too short.
Right.
And the people that I work with, and they're not necessarily layback people, but they're all lovely.
Oh, that's great.
So,
That's
no grouches among
that's great.
Yeah, it really and truly is. I guess I better knock on wood somewhere, but that's the deal.
No, but I want to get to your books. Okay. She's got some fabulous books, and we were looking through them before we got on the air, and I think they're amazing because I'm a very visual person, and gobs of pictures.
Okay. Well, we'll start. I'll tell you a little about it. The first book, it's a series. So there will be more coming on different topics. And, if you're enjoying this show and want to reach out and say, I'd love to have a book on this topic, holler, because you just never know. I'll tell you in a minute the second book, how that one came up. But the first book is Style Essentials, Build Your Ultimate Wardrobe. And one of the things, this could go on, but one of the things about women, I'm just going to show you. I want you to see that we're in the process of updating this book, and so it'll be a bit before the hardcover version is out. And so I don't forget to tell you, it is on Amazon in digital form right now. But it's a workbook. It's a tool so that you can fold, and we put the spiral in there, so you could fold it back and then make your notes or whatever you need to for yourself. And but lots and lots of pictures, because isn't a picture worth 1,000 words. But Style Essentials helps build a solid foundation to your wardrobe that you can add on to later, but it allows you to never be caught without something fabulous to wear. I'm absolutely opposed to emergency shopping because, you kind of liked it, or maybe you would have passed, or maybe you don't have the opportunity to pass because you truly don't have anything. But I always look at emergency shopping as settling, because you had to have it, you're in a panic, and 99.9% of the time you do not find that true treasure in that hunt, because I think part of it is a law of attraction maybe. because you're in
that's
such a
right.
panic state. But whatever it is, I always say to my clients, there will be no emergency shopping. But one of the things about women, you know what we're famous for, a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear, because truly, national sport, and we are, of the, oh my gosh, creature and shiny object kind of thing. Oh my gosh, it's on sale. I must have that. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. Oh, this has to come home. And then it does, and you can't figure out what to do with it, and it sits there. So hence, a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. This book alleviates that entire thing because it's a more consolidated, concise wardrobe, fewer things, but every single piece has a purpose and is fabulous because we don't settle around here. You either are possessed. Years ago, I took a business course that said, where one of the speakers talked about the concept of hell yes or hell no. And he said, my wife and I do this for everything, whether it's who we're going to dinner with or where we're going to dinner. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And it needs to be that with every piece of clothing that you buy, so you don't just have stuff, because stuff doesn't do anybody any good.
No.
So that's the first book. And again, you can reach out to us and get on the waiting list for the hardcover. But in the meantime, I think for $10 and change or something, you can get the digital version and at least get started on it. And it's really helpful. Yes. You have a question?
You're going to get that. I was thinking when you were talking about, your emergency, shopping.
Yeah.
And I've been in that position before. And, you always walk home with something you settled for. I mean, something that, it looks nice, but it's not what you want. Yeah. But I always noticed that when I find that outfit or that dress or those pair of pants, I know it. It's almost like a feeling comes over you, that's it.
That's exactly right. Sometimes goosebumps even.
Right. And you think, oh man, and I even have a blouse at home that's going to look great with this.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know how to explain it. You just know.
Yes, absolutely. I experience that same thing while I'm out shopping for clients. And I'm, trolling through all this stuff. And I'll hit something and I literally have a visceral reaction towards it. And, and it's always a winner.
Well, do you ever shop for, when you're shopping for them, do you ever find something for yourself?
Yes, I do, from time to time. However, people go, why aren't you shopping? I'm like, are you nuts? You could go bankrupt in this business. So right. I'm very careful about what I do, and I contemplated, I always buy where you can return. But for myself and, for my clients, if it's a place that doesn't take returns, I'm just throwing this in here as a little aside, then we take it out on approval. And it's kind of like having a library card and do it that way. But for myself, just very, very careful because I've learned over the years, learned early on that spontaneous purchasing for me was not the smartest, wisest course.
Yeah. I have a family member that she'll go and she'll buy. And then, I'm kind of picky. I'm like buying, but then she takes it home. And it sits there, Bobbi. Sometimes she doesn't even take it out of the bag. And I'm thinking...
And it never goes back?
No. I said, why don't you return it? And she says, well, if you want to look through it. I think it's a psychological thing about buying or wanting or some kind of need or something there.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the world of women. Yes, we use, what is it, retail therapy, which I do not recommend. And I'm all about fiscal responsibility, by the way, so that if it's in the budget, great. But if it's not, nothing is worth breaking that budget. Just not. Yeah. And there's alternatives, which I guess sort of in a way will bring us to this next book, which is Chic Casual Dressing, the Budget Guide. And so, how this came about was a good friend of mine called me one morning and she goes, I had a dream about you last night. You have to write this book. And it's my forte, so I was like, the topic. Okay, I'm on it. And I did it, and I'm just going to open it up so you can see. This is available not in hardcover at Amazon, so you can reach out to us if you want to purchase a hardcover. And the book, the cardstock it's on, they make fabulous gifts. Both of these do, because they just present so well. But in this book, you can get it on Amazon, I think in both digital and paperback. But the paperback is worth it, I just think, for making notes and doing whatever you want to do with the book. But I just want you to see all the fun pictures.
Oh, I love the books.
There's, because we cover every single topic, and we just tons of pictures to help you understand how to put looks together. And the idea is that with some of the stuff, you'll have it in your closet already. You don't have to go out and buy new. But in this book, I go through and I tell you how to acquire things at a budget or on a budget from various retailers, whether it's sale or it's a discounter, and where to look and what the rules are, or if it's pre-owned, because that, since COVID, that has taken off like a shot. And pre-owned is just really, it's a hot ticket these days.
Yeah. You can find a lot of good stuff.
Yes, you do. And, and I mean, a lot of designer stuff. I realize inflation has happened since then, but I remember a number of years ago looking through for the course, which we'll talk about in a minute. But one of the sections I wanted to have pre-owned on there for investment dressing for those who wasn't in their budget to walk into Neiman Marcus and pay $3,000 for the Row jacket. But at the varying places that you fall with this, and then pre-owned was included in it. But I just want you to get really an idea. Literally every possible article of clothing that you would need is included in here, and it just makes it such a marvelous, marvelous tool to help you create looks for everyday casual.
Well, you were saying that, I was thinking, I got the sequin dress years ago. And it was in like one of those places that, and the tags were still on it.
Yeah.
It's like I bought this and it didn't fit, or it wasn't my color, so they just.
Or like your friend just never returned it.
Yeah.
But truthfully, no, you can get with the tags on. Absolutely. Yeah. And, if you want to go that route, and you can, excellent condition, very good condition, all of this, but it could be a very, very, very valuable thing. Instead of paying, $800, $700 for a pair of Christian Louboutin pumps, you can get a pre-owned pair for $135. So,
yeah.
And they look pretty much brand new.
Before I forget, if they want to order your books,
all right. So if you're interested in the books, which, ladies, I'm telling you, these are tools that will serve you a lifetime. Go to Amazon.com, and the title again, if you type in Style Essentials by Bobbi Schwartz, that'll probably get you right to it. But Style Essentials, Build Your Ultimate Wardrobe, for one, and there's the digital version only on Amazon, and then we've got the updated version coming. How long it takes to iron out all that stuff. And then the second one is on Amazon, Chic Casual Dressing, the Budget Guide, is on Amazon in both the paperback and digital. And I would recommend paperback in this case, and then if you want a hardback cover, we do have some available for sale. And you just need to write and let us know, and we're happy to accommodate you.
Oh, that's great. So I'm really excited about your course.
Thank you.
Because I just love clothes, and I love the whole out. To me, it's the whole woman. It's a whole dress. I mean, have you seen some? Well, I'm sure you have. Yeah. Somebody that look really cute, and then you look down at their shoes, and it's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't complete their outfit. So
they did not.
So does your course have like? I guess it's like little tips and tricks, or what is that? Let's tell.
The course, which, ladies, I would tell you, every single woman needs to take. It is, you think in terms, it's, transform your life through style. It is about business, and it's about being professional and looking professional. And, but there isn't a woman out there, if you don't work, or if you work in a uniform or in scrubs, you still need elements of this. And because of the way the course is set up, you get, I've shopped everything on there, so you can go from regular retailers to the discounters to the pre-owned, but it's the same stuff I would shop for my clients, only you don't have to pay my fee. You just get access to it, but it is private and exclusive to the people who take the course, so no one else has access to it. But the purpose of the course, I learned a long, long time ago, the things that we teach in the course about simplicity, it being understated, it being capsule, so things mix and match. Because I'll tell you a story that I think are some information that will probably blow your mind because you think that's not possible. Because I thought the first time I heard it, and I ought to know better. And it is this. It takes, studies show, I'm not making this up, that it takes a woman on average 45 minutes every day to get herself dressed. And ladies, this does not include hair and makeup, because you know what we do. We stand there. And, but the point to this whole thing is that it isn't just the time. 45 minutes in the morning is, nobody needs that. I don't even if you're a morning person. But the deal is, and I'll just tell an aside in a moment that's making me laugh, is that it isn't just the time. It's the stress, the anxiety, the frustration. So let's just say you go, you've got some important meeting that you've got to be at, and for some reason, you just want to look your best, whether it's an interview or an important client or your boss or, looking for a promotion, whatever it is, and it's important to you. And so you're working your way through the closet trying to figure out what pieces you're going to put together to actually show up looking your best. And the further the time goes, the tenser you get. And we all know there's going to be a cutoff time. You're going to have to walk out that door at some point. It's not like, you can just go on forever. And so time's up. You throw it on and you take a look at yourself. And remember I talked about how closely associated our appearance is with our self-confidence. If this kind of outfit didn't turn out that great, you just couldn't put your fingers on it, on making it look, or you didn't have the pieces, you're kind of walking out just a little less than. Your confidence is taking a hit, and you're taking that with you to whatever was so important to you. So this course goes over all of that. But on the other hand, if you've taken the course and now you know the magic tricks, you're dressed this quickly and out that door looking like $1 million and feeling every bit of that confidence that's so important. So, who knew? 45 minutes on average. So we know there's the short time. This is the outfit that you like, that you've worn a bazillion times, you feel confident in, you've gotten compliments on, whatever it is. And then there's this time that is terrifying, really. And every single one of us, there isn't a woman on the planet who hasn't been through this. And what made me laugh was that I have a young man that works for me, and I, for some reason, was telling him this statistic and story. And he goes, "Oh, you can stop. I have 3 sisters." I've seen this time and time and time again, and it is such an awful thing. Because even, let's say you finally get the outfit going, or you feel relieved, but your emotions have taken that hit of all that stress. That's no way to begin the day. So the course alleviates all that by teaching you all the things to do, in addition to bringing you into your power so that you are looking like $1 million every time. Here's another little tidbit fact that you might not know, and that is this. It takes less than a blink of an eye for somebody to make an assessment about you.
That is so true.
And that's your first impression, and it is all based on this. So, and if I might just take a little bit more time, I'm kind of thinking about things. I did a speaking engagement one time for a Women's Lawyers Association. And I'm up there kind of fiddling on the stage with my, my stuff, getting it ready, and I watch all the women walking in. And I'm horrified at what I'm seeing come through that door. I mean horrified. Horrified. And so this was not on the, on the docket to be spoken about, but I had to ask. So I said, out of curiosity, how many of you feel like who you are is enough that it does not matter how you look? You would not have believed the hands that went up. And ladies, I'm here to tell you, you will get some success. There's no question about it, but you will never meet your full potential. And you will always fall short with those who do know how to put themselves together. I've got one client who, when she hired me, she's a partner in a law firm, she was promoted faster than any other, I think, person in the firm. And she obviously she brought skills. She brought skills to the table without, because if you've got nothing to back this up, the game's up in 5 minutes. But I'm just going to assume that most of us have our skills, and or all of us, and that those promotions just came. She hired me to kind of help her fine tune and still uses me continually. But I just so you know, it's just unbelievable the difference that it makes, and the trajectory of your career could go from 0 to 60 in really, really fast.
I get so tickled because I know a girl like that. She's super smart, and the thing is, and I kind of, you don't really know how to say, you have to be really delicate. Like, well, this would look a lot better on you, and she goes, no, I'm smart. I've got it. I know how this thing, my company works, da-da-da. And I says, nobody's going to listen to you. Honestly, they kind of bypass you. But she worked in a male industry. She was the only woman.
Well,
so she tried
that makes it worse too.
And so she tried to fit in, and I said, no. She was looking for the acceptance to belong to this company. And I says, I told her, I says, I see your point. I really see what she was trying to do. But I says, but you're not going to get any respect, because you're trying to fit in. Yeah. And she got a little, I think it really hit her, maybe that's the deal. Yeah. So she says, well, I don't think so. I said, whatever, But you put that little seed in their minds, and maybe they'll think about it.
No, that was so beautifully put, and that's exactly right. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you may get some success, but you are going to battle for every inch of territory you get, and it could be so much easier. It just, if you've got an education, you paid for that, you invested in education, you've invested in a number of things. I'm guessing, well, invest in yourself, because it will make all the difference in your future.
I'm just poking here because I don't know what time it is. I didn't know what time we had left, so yes. Oh, okay. One of the things that I love about fashion and stuff like that is that I get to be me. This is my signature look, and I had somebody tell me one time, they says, we know when you walk in the door that I always wear, I wear different types of different types of stuff that actually says, this looks like Rebecca.
Right.
So you have your own style because you actually find your own style, and that looks like you.
Yep.
And to me, that is something that it's just all about. It's all about you. Mm-hmm. And I think we were all taught, a lot of us were taught, that women are givers, and we put ourselves second. And no, I had to turn that around because that's kind of the way I was taught. You do for others.
Yes.
But if you don't do for yourself, and you don't make yourself, take pride in yourself and, be the best you can every day, I think I have a daughter, it reflects, the kids learn by what you say and do and by what you wear. And we were talking about that before we got on the air because my daughter's totally, completely, different style than I was. But I had to stop and think, my mom said that too. And I did not want to take her personal style and, influence it. So, I still today said, well, why don't you, I really have to watch because she will find her way, just by, I think you're a model sometimes. I think what you do and how you look reflects on people. Reflects, other people and get what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like you're teaching.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and nothing really needs to be said. But your point to taking care of ourselves, so many people will say, "Well, that's just vanity." No, it isn't. It's self-care. It's self-care.
Yeah.
And you get, okay, there may be multiple lives, but for sure we only know about the one we're in. And to not care for yourself, not take care of yourself, if you are a giver, you can give so much more by you having your act together. And I don't mean about dressing necessarily 100%, but certainly that contributes to how you operate and how you feel. But being solid on your insides is really how you're able to give more to others. If that's
Right.
your
Yeah. And a
direction.
lot of that comes from your. Well, I think for me, I think when you dress well or you dress, good or whatever you want to say, I think that impacts the inside of you because you get confidence, like you were talking, but also it gives you awareness of all the people around you. Maybe that sounds a little strange, but and then you don't really care. I mean, well, and when I dress and I know I look good, I don't really care what everybody else around me thinks because the only thing that really matters is how I feel.
Mhm.
And because I think sometimes we get in that rut. I think we learned that maybe when we were teenagers. Oh, I have to wear this, or so-and-so, won't notice me, and no, I dress for me, and I think that's the secret.
Well, and it is, and do for you as well.
Right.
All of that. But to your point earlier when you said, you put the outfit on that you really like, and you're in front of the mirror, and you look and you go, okay, I look good, and you're ready to go to the world. And here's the deal: you totally forget about what you've got on. You just
That's true.
you just go, and now you're engaged in your day. But within yourself is all this confidence that you're exuding. And so it really just makes such a difference.
It does, and it's contagious. It really is because I remember I had walked into I worked for a firm, and I walked in, and I always think I look great when I walk in. And this one girl comes up to me, and she goes, "Wow, you must have spend a lot of money on clothes because you're always coming in here with something, And yeah, I spend money, but the thing is, I make outfits out of a lot of things I have, like going back to the basics, like you were saying, and it looks totally different. It looks like a totally different outfit.
Well, and one of the things, yes, and that I used to employ, and I still do, and this is part of what in the course you'll find is at one point in my career, it was early on, and I was just discovering all these principles. But it was my first really good black pantsuit. It was so beautiful. I loved that suit. I wore that to every wedding, every business meeting, every cocktail party. I mean, it was always the same suit because that's all that was in the budget at the time. And I would change my shoes, I would change my accessories, maybe wear my hair different. And people would come up, and you can tell when people are being sincere, and they go, "Bobbi, how is it that you just look so amazing at everything you attend?" And inside I'm going, "Oh my God, well, thank God she doesn't know that this is the same thing I've worn to the last 3 events she's seen me at." And you ever just change a few things and you change the
Right,
look. And
yeah.
if you think about it, that's what men do. We should take a page out of their book. Their, we'll say, success wardrobe, they got the suit, they got the shirt, they got the tie, right, and the shoes. And I challenge you, ladies, if you do work in a professional environment where you see gentlemen in their suits and certain people often, to think, have I ever thought this thought? No, you have not. He had that same suit on Tuesday. You never had that. Now, you may going forward now that I brought it up. But guys change their tie or their shirt, and they've changed their entire look. And we need to do the capsule wardrobe thing,
Yeah.
know the key pieces that fit inside that wardrobe, and then mix and match all the time.
And they only have 2 or 3 pair of shoes.
Yes, and so dress shoes, they have black and they have brown, and that's it. And when they build men's shoes, period, they're built for a lifetime. And of course, they understand their customer base who will not come back, to buy more because they wouldn't just have it done and be done. I mean, men get dressed truthfully mostly. There are a few that are fashion plates, but for the most part, they get dressed because it's illegal not to, unlike us. But, and then, of course, the 2 pairs of shoes that they have, the dress shoes, brown and a black pair, they just take them for a lifetime. Those shoes will just keep getting refurbished. And we know that that will work to a degree, and most women just don't know it. Oh, my shoe has a hole in it. Goodbye. Toss it. I'm so sad to give it up. Don't give it up. Take it to Dino's.
Yeah.
They'll put a whole new sole on the bottom, and they'll look like you just walked out of the store with them. So they can save them. But generally, the quality of fabric, construction, and everything for men is.
That is so true because my
higher
husband
quality.
buys good quality shoes, and but he has his for a long, long time. he puts some, he'll wear his brown or black or whatever, and he goes. I think he has like, what's it called, blood.
Oxford, the burgundy color.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Yeah, so you could do that. You could add that in as a third, but basic brown and black, and and then they're done.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think that's we can't do that. I mean,
well, we could,
we
could, but most of us don't because we like clothes.
Yes. Well, why don't we talk about jewelry, because that plays a big part in finishing up the look. Okay, so I mean, I have my favorite pieces, and I think most women do, but they don't always go with your outfit, or some women don't wear jewelry. They might wear earrings. So what is your take on that?
Okay, well, ladies, brace yourself. I am not a jewelry fan. I'm not an accessory fan. Okay. In fact, if you, I don't even know if you will know who this is, but Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, who was married to JFK Jr., one of the things she was most famous for was the fact that she didn't wear jewelry except her wedding band. Now, every now and then you would see her in a pair of pearl earrings or a strand of pearls around her neck, and she had a Cartier tank watch. That was it, ladies, period, end of story. Chanel would say, put your accessories on, look in the mirror and take one off. I'd say just take it all off and leave it. So I recommend, if you were closer, you could see the little tiny hoops I have in today. I have pearl studs, diamond studs. I have a great Rolex watch and pre-owned. Don't get panicked. And that's it. I'm not a scarf person. I'm not, and listen, I know that there are women out there who want to do that and do what that's the thing about fashion.
Yeah. Right.
But I just think that I'll see a lot of women who their accessories wear them, not the other way around. So I would just say minimal, and then do what makes you happy.
Right. And to me, I'm a very like the earrings I have on. A friend of mine is a jewelry maker, and she made these for me. And I thought, every time you put them on, I don't think
it's a special memory.
It's a special memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a memory person. This I got in Venice because it was a trip to Venice. So I mean, I think that's part of getting dressed is the memories that you put on with your clothes.
Well, I just think. I don't know if I personally have that attachment, but as we were talking about before the show, is when I'm going through somebody's closet and I'm, itching to get my hands on that item to take it away, and then they go, but that holds a special memory for me. I'm like, never mind, let's put it back in. Because I just think as you're cruising through your closet and you just happen to bump into that piece, even if you're never going to wear it again, it brings a smile to your heart and your face. And I just think that's, the experiences we've had in life are most
priceless.
Valuable.
Yeah. Well, Bobbi, before you go, why don't we get your contact information? If we have people out there that actually want to, contact you and be your client or just talk.
Well, the best way to reach me is at info@beiconicstyle.com. So it's like I want to be iconic, and then style.com. And if you just reach out to me at info@beiconicstyle.com, I'll respond, and we can go from there for whatever your reason, whether it's the book, hardcover books, the course, the having help, whatever it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
And do follow us on Instagram, by the way. And before we depart, if we've got a second for me to do this, I highly, highly recommend, if you love clothes, signing up for our blog. It's once a week, and then once a month we have a newsletter. You can unsubscribe anytime, but you will learn so much from that and see so many fun things. It's a wide breadth of pricing, mostly designer-ish. But the thing is, you can look at something and go, okay, it's not my budget to buy that, but I can go look for a less expensive version of it. And we have something on there called, you'll see on the blog, it says 5 Easy Pieces, where every week I put outfits together. And they are, there's one that is 5 easy pieces. It's very budget conscious. I mean, very, very. And then the other one is 5 easy pieces elevated that isn't designer but kind of headed that direction. So that I just want to encourage you there because it's so much fun. I think you probably get a lot out of it, learning-wise, concept-wise, and then application. So you can see styles that I would recommend, and then if it's not in your budget, you can go, and it may be in your budget, and look at that. You found something fabulous.
I just love that. Oh, I love talking fashion with her. But thank you so much.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. This has really been fun.
It has. And remember, be good. Be here next week. We are always here on Thursday live, but if you can catch us on Facebook at Fishbowl, and tomorrow you can catch us on your own Facebook or your my YouTube channel. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.